Welcome to the Wedding Obsessed podcast designed to help you plan your dream day. I'm your host, Adriana, and each week I'm joined by the wedding industry's top professionals, celebs, influencers, and friends who share tips, trends, advice, and mistakes they've made so you don't have to. This is the Pre Nup podcast. Welcome back to the Pre Nup podcast with our monthly wedding movie recap and review. As always, we have my sis, the one and only Big Vic TT in the house. Welcome back, Vic.
In the flesh.
Thank you for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure.
Pleasure being here.
As promised, this week we are actually reviewing Sex and the City.
Yes.
We said we were going to before we did a little alley-oop and did My Best Friend's Wedding. But now that Sex and the City is back on HBO, everyone can watch it and follow along with us. And we are excited. We have much to say.
We do. Yes.
So you and I talk every day, but we do not discuss the wedding movie.
Right.
I think it's best to keep it that way. But we were on the phone last night and we were both really excited about one feature, and I am very curious to see whether it's the same thing.
I feel like it has to be the same.
So once we get to it, we'll point out what it is. But let's just hop right into the movie because these are notoriously long. We always have so much to say about these movies, and this is no exception. It's my favorite genre of movie is so bad it's good. And I personally feel that Sex and the City falls into that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, so 2008's Sex and the City. Do you believe that? 2008? Wow. So
I graduated high school in 08.
Oh, yeah, you were in 08. Oh, wait, sleep when you're dead.
How cheap is here?
How cheap, but so cute.
So
Mine
funny.
was 2011, Double the One, Double the Fun.
Oh, that's
coined
cute.
by one Nancy Folsom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I like that.
And it really caught on.
I like it.
But let's get back to 2008, a very, very good year for many reasons. Of course, your high school graduation, a big deal, and the premiere of Sex and the City, the movie. So it's a continuation of the iconic series.
Right.
And people were really looking forward to it because it had been a few years and they were going to kind of just get this little beautiful ending in this movie. So synopsis of the movie. After 10 years, allegedly, we'll get to that, but anyway, after 10 years, Carrie Bradshaw and Mr. Big finally decide to tie the knot. But when their low-key wedding plans turn over the top, Big questions whether the celebration is actually about the marriage or just the spectacle of the wedding.
Right.
In the wake of Big's cold feet, Carrie attempts to find and rebuild herself with the help of the iconic crew, Samantha Jones, Miranda Hobbs, and Charlotte York Goldblatt. Can't speak today. The film recorded the biggest opening ever for an R-rated comedy and romantic comedy. Yes, and it surpassed, Hitch.
Okay, wow.
With Will Smith, which is one of my go-to films.
It's a great one,
It's one of those movies that I can just literally always put on.
And it's always on, so you're in love.
It's always on. These movies we love. Don't forget. And American Pie 2.
Really?
Yes, which got me thinking American Pie 3 is a wedding movie.
That should be our next one.
Well, I have our next one, actually. So we'll do that one after.
Do that after.
But
that's going to be a fun one to do.
So I'll give her American Wedding.
Yes.
So I'll give another reminder of this, but our next wedding movie is going to be Jumping the Broom.
Oh, I love that.
It's one of my favorites.
It is your favorite.
I love
Jumping the Broom since you were a girl.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
So with our wedding movie recaps and reviews, I thought we would just do a fun thing to start incorporating into the episodes. I want you to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score, both Rotten Tomatoes and audience score.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I forget how audience score goes.
Audience score is the same way. It's just like the Rotten Tomatoes score is from critics. Audience score is from
viewers.
So
it's same a percentage of 100. Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah.
I would say that they would give this film critics are gonna go. I'm gonna go. This is generous. I'm gonna go 21%.
Okay.
And then audience score, I'm gonna go a little higher. And I'm going to say 25%.
Wow. So you were actually way under.
Really?
Really, yeah.
Okay,
the critics actually gave it a 50%.
That's shocking.
It's shocking, but
Okay. And the audience gave it a 70%.
I guess I should have surmised that because I like, as a fan of the franchise, I did love it. I did love it, but it's so you'll see it as I give my notes here.
It's totally outrageous.
It's insane.
I don't know if we're going to get a chance to. I'm sure we will, but really quickly, I just wanted to give a shout out to the iconic Pat Fields. Just for her, she's the one who did all of the fashion for the whole show, and she did it for most of the movie, other than the iconic wedding dress scene. If I say iconic one more time, just punch my face.
No, it has to be said here. It's, for this film is iconic.
It is. But yes. You guys know it. I'm gonna really consciously try to stop saying iconic through this episode.
Well,
however.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, Pat Fields is everything. She, talk about an eye for fashion and really not even so much fashion, but just the peak epitome of style. I just really admire even some of the more interesting choices.
Are still amazing.
I could never. Right. So there's actually, and before we get into this, there's a meme out there. Have you ever seen this? It's like, does Carrie have great fashion, or is she just thin?
It's both. It's both.
And
it's both, because
and not all thin people have great fashion too. Like, not everyone can just wear everything.
No,
but
especially her. Listen, I disagree with that statement. There are some people who can just wear anything, and they're tall and thin. Sarah Jessica Parker isn't that tall,
but she has like quite literally the perfect body.
She does, and she wears everything very well.
She really.
But there are a few things.
Is styled. So
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Okay, so let's start at the top of the movie. So just really quickly, the very beginning of the movie starts with our Gucci Fendi Prada.
Which is come on, Fergie, you don't get chills.
Come on. Fergie Ferg comes in.
Let me do you long time, right? What is it? Fergie Ferg. Let me love you long time.
Let me love you long time.
So my bad.
Yeah. So there's a little quick recap of the show that conveniently leaves out that big drag Carrie through the mud for 10 years or so. But we get up to speed on where everyone is in their life. And they do a good job. Little compilation. But the movie really starts with Big and Carrie looking for a house.
Right.
So,
or no, they're apartment shopping.
They're apartment shopping.
Yeah.
And I guess they're planning on obviously moving in together.
Right.
But there's a couple things that confuse me. We'll go through it.
Okay.
But they stumble upon this fabulous penthouse.
Right.
And
it's not listed yet.
It's not listed, but they decide maybe they're going to go forward with this. Right. And when Carrie presents it to the girls, much like an episode of Sex and the City, Miranda is instantly concerned, which is a common theme of the show as well.
Right.
Like, okay, well, have you thought this through? Like, what are your rights? You guys aren't married.
Right.
And classic Carrie, has obviously not thought for 1 second about it until that point.
I'm cracking up because my first note of everything is Carrie is the fucking worst. When Miranda expresses concern that Big will be buying the penthouse, Carrie said she'd prefer her friend to be jealous than concerned.
Oh, jealous.
Who wants someone to be jealous? Like a friend who's looking out for you.
Yes.
And it just,
But it is the first time it's even dawned on her that maybe this is not the correct financial decision for her in life. But Carrie becomes defensive, as she always does.
Yeah.
But then, of course, she starts thinking about it. Fast forward to the Blair Ellen auction.
Blair Ellen was a waitress turned model turned actress turned billionaire's girlfriend who came home one night to find herself unceremoniously turned out on the street. And now she was getting the ultimate breakup revenge, an embarrassing and very public auction of all the jewelry he had given her when they were happy.
So this is where things really solidify for her.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an interesting story. Do you know the Blair Ellen story?
Just from the film.
Okay, so it's based on Ellen Barkin, who was married to Ron Perlman. This was a real Christie's auction.
Really?
Yes. And apparently it was a really big deal. I was reading up on it, if anyone's interested, dig a little bit deeper. But what's the name of the device used when you mix up the words I am Lord Voldemort for Tom Riddle?
I just did this with something else. Let me look that up while you're
Okay.
looking.
So it's whatever that word is. I can't remember what it is, but whatever. They're at the auction and
Anastrophe.
Astrophe?
Anastrophe, the reversal of the normal order of words.
Okay. I would have not gotten that.
I just read it for something else.
Okay. Love it. Astrophe. So
Anastrophe.
anastrophe. Oh, like
Anastrophe.
anastrophe.
Yeah. Like
Anastrophe.
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 Yes.
Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it. Fun word. So yeah, Blair Elkin and Ellen Barkin are anastrophes of each other. And Ellen Barkin was a real person. And this was like somewhat of a real auction, what this was
I
based
didn't know
on.
that. That's
yeah.
great.
But this Blair Elkin character is auctioning off all of the jewelry items that she had when her and her boyfriend,
All
whatever.
the jewelry he gave her when they were happy.
When they were happy. So sad. So this really gets Carrie's wheels turning even further because she's like, okay, well, they were happy and, you know, now she's left on the street. She doesn't have anything. She has to auction off all her shit.
Exactly.
So when Carrie brings this up to Big...
Can I just go back to the auction quickly because Samantha Jones bids the ring?
Yeah.
And I just, it immediately brings me back to the Zsa Zsa Gabor and Rosie O'Donnell outbidding Rory Martin for the Brady horse.
Oh my God.
In a very Brady sequel.
Very Brady sequel.
And
I also wait, I forgot how fucking funny that movie is.
And also I thought to myself, there's one of those Brady movies is a wedding film and we should recap that as well.
Is it?
Pack Your Flower, Church and Sandal. We're going to Hawaii, and don't they renew the vows? And there's also a backyard wedding at some point. Remember?
It's a vow renewal, isn't it? Oh, does Alice get married?
She might. And then I thought the Brady parents get married in the backyard again.
Oh my!
We need to go. We need to do that.
It's not a wedding movie.
There is
a wedding in it, but it's not a wedding movie.
We do need to do a thing where we touch
Mr.
on all
Martin,
TV,
what do I
TV
do?
weddings.
Of course,
Yes, we
of
have
course.
to. Okay.
Yeah, Brady. That is so funny.
Greg, you seem a little preoccupied with your sister. It's the funniest movie. I was just like, to our very colorful bidder because Samantha's cursing and I just see Zsa Zsa Gabor and Rosie.
So funny. And I want to say with this recap, like, interrupt me with anything that is like a standout for you because there's so much that I went over because this movie has 9 fucking lives and it's...
Oh, it really does. I go off on 1,000 tangents. There's so many things, like even you pass, but like when they're in the... talking to the realtor and she's like, oh, she alludes to them being married. This is my boyfriend. And it's like, what age is too old to be referred to as boyfriend?
Totally.
There's a lot of things.
There's so many things like that, but this movie is just jam-packed with like plot and content that it feels like we didn't even get to the wedding and there's so much movie.
Yes.
And then there's a whole lifetime
other,
of movie after.
Right.
So it's very hard because to keep this to an hour, like there's things we're unfortunately gonna have to keep out, but maybe we'll do a part 2 of this.
Yes.
There was a question that okay, this is where I wanted to ask you. So Carrie comes home from the auction and she's like, maybe I'll sell my apartment. So she wants to be smart. Maybe I'll sell my apartment because I want to contribute to, you know, our place together so that I have a right to it. So Big's like,
did you want to get married?
She's like,
Well, I didn't think that was an option.
What if it was an option?
Right.
and I thought this proposal was so chic.
I did too. I loved it. I loved it.
If Mr. Big specifically said, I wouldn't mind being married to you.
I was always Team Big.
Were you?
Always. To me.
Now why?
I was always Team Big for me.
Right.
Carrie and Aiden deserve each other. They're both whiny little bitches.
Meant for each other.
But I am Team Mr. Big in my heart of hearts. Like, I would be with a Mr. Big.
I get, but I wouldn't want that for you.
I just think he's like every other...
When he married Natasha.
You wouldn't marry Natasha?
Of course I would, but I wouldn't get back with someone who married Natasha. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, because Carrie's crazy.
Carrie's crazy, but like, what, like, in this scenario, like...
I would never be, I'm Natasha. I'm Natasha.
You are Natasha.
Yeah, like...
Well, do you want to be Natasha?
in the end, he left her some money after his death.
She didn't even accept. She didn't even need it.
And
She's
I
so
wouldn't
chic.
either.
I
She-
would.
right?
My cheap ass to be like, give me.
I said no. Small talk. Help.
But this got me into just a wedding related question. Their proposal was very casual. There's no
loved it.
ring. I loved it too. I think it's like very classy, very chic to have an adult conversation with the person that clearly you're gonna marry. Like if you're, but the reason for getting married, like, what do you think is the main reason that people get married? Because they were together all this time, like they didn't have to. And there's so many people.
I always thought, aside from people who are just romantics, that like the tax incentive. Then I got married and saw that it wasn't much.
Sure, yeah.
And
Let's talk about that.
right.
Yeah, let's get an accountant on.
Right. And then I thought, just, some people are old fashioned traditional, and like if you want to have a family, it's kind of, the way to go. But I mean, really isn't necessary. It isn't necessary.
No, it's not necessary. But I guess for these types of things, it makes sense. Like
Right.
when someone is so much more wealthy, because, I'm sure anyone listening knows a little bit about Mr. Big, and he's like
Very wealthy.
Yes, he's fabulously wealthy, has unlimited funds, and Carrie does fine, but she, doesn't have
have
Mr.
as
Big
much.
money.
Right.
Who among us does?
Right.
So yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
I mean, I guess if you're going to give somebody your life and time, you want some sort of claim to something. But again, if somebody's as wealthy as Mr. Big, even if you are signing a prenup or some sort,
You're still gonna be fine.
right?
Yeah. He's gonna have to pay
there-
alimony.
and they finagle the rich people find their way to take care of themselves.
They
They'll
always
be just
do.
fine. So
They always do.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
again,
And, I mean, even not rich people, look at, Poppy's still paying Ginny alimony all
right?
these
I mean,
years.
that's crazy.
Till
Yeah.
she goes. Yeah. God bless them both.
Right.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So Carrie tells the friends that her and Mr. Big are going to get married. And they're all pretty excited, except for Samantha, who is understandably, a little disappointed because she doesn't believe in marriage.
Right.
Honey, I am excited for you, but you know me. I don't really believe in marriage. Now, Botox, on the other hand, that works every time.
Do you think that there are certain friends out there who have that similar thought? Like, I want to be happy for my friend, but for whatever reason, I can't be. Whether it's like, I don't believe in marriage, and I thought like we were never going to get married, like a Samantha thing, or maybe
I'm just
someone.
jealous or
Yeah.
jealous. Oh yeah, there's a million people like that.
I think it happens in every
I
friend
have
group.
actually heard of people who are like, have said like, oh, I don't want you to get married before I do. Like,
Oh,
have said to like
oh, yeah.
siblings that they, like, the most appalling things I ever heard in my life that I would just laugh in someone's face. Like, and they're all around the same age. Like, you're all the same age. This is getting married time. How dare you ask somebody to wait until you're done? Like, it's
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and
But there's people who do it.
people who do it, and those people do like need to seek help. Unfortunately,
Right.
that's a problem.
The person I'm like thinking of that said it to me too, like obliged the person and like waited.
That's a bigger problem.
Right?
Yeah,
I
like
was
get
like,
that.
you're a better person.
Just cut
than
that
me. I
person
would
out of
just
your
laugh,
life.
Right?
Yeah,
They caught, and it was a family member.
I would be like, fuck off. You need to relax. You're
Right, I
like,
would too. But she was just like, I just wait. I was like, okay.
disgusting. No,
It's
that's
wild.
disgusting.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, if you and John hadn't been married and
I
Jake
do
proposed,
think there's some sort of
there's a
etiquette of
hierarchy.
no, I agree with that too. I agree with that too.
I would do it though. Like you know what I mean? Like I would say, no, we're not doing that before Torn John. Like that would be
Right,
my
but, like,
decision.
but exactly. But also, that's what I mean. Like there is a thing of respect, but
Yes.
these people were the same. Like they were the same age that I'm referring to. But again, like I think there is a
Who
thing
is
of
it?
respect.
That's fucking outrageous.
I know. I was appalled, and I was like, "You are a better person than me." I
Oh.
would have just been like, "Excuse me."
Balls of steel.
Right.
Ooh.
Wild.
So Carrie tells the girlfriends that she's engaged.
Right.
They wake up to their
Page 6
announcement on
announcement.
page 6.
Best.
So,
Our wedding's in page 6.
and Big is at that point, that's the first of his kind of like agitation.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to make a big spectacle of the wedding. They decided it's going to be small. It's going to be intimate. But that's kind of, I wouldn't even call it strike one, but that's like Big's radar. Like, okay,
Yes,
well,
this is getting
circusy.
right.
Yes. So then we hear from Enid, which I was so
love
excited to
this,
see Enid, who was Carrie's editor at Vogue.
Yes.
She brings Carrie in. Carrie assumes that she wants her to do a piece on brides, but Enid wants Carrie to be the bride.
The 40-year-old bride.
Yes.
The last single girl.
The
yes.
last single girl. So Enid says 40 is the last age a woman can be photographed in a wedding dress without the unintended Diane Arbus subtext. Which I had no idea who Diane Arbus was, so I had to look it up.
Yeah.
So she was, according to Wikipedia, she was a photographer who took unrelenting direct photographs of people who are considered social deviates.
Okay.
So like, just for
Okay,
example,
what's
like a homeless or, like a disfigured person, like a social deviant, basically. So like a sexual deviant.
Right.
The
Yeah,
social
but
deviant.
like, so she's implying that if you're over
40, you're a social deviant. Yes. Over 40 in a wedding dress.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you feel about being in a wedding dress at certain ages?
Well, I had said, I think we touched on it before on the first time I came on. Like for me personally, like youth on your side is
Sure.
I didn't want to be 40 walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a rush to get married, but like
course.
while you're younger, you look better.
Yeah.
Like I'm so excited for like a Millie Bobby Brown who's 12 and going to walk down the aisle. She's going to
know.
look unreal. Like
She's a consensual child bride, and she has a
Right.
child groom as well, so it's okay. They're children.
Exactly. But like Hailey Bieber.
Child bride. Yeah.
But like the most beautiful brides you'll ever see. So like,
Stunning,
yes,
stunning.
give me the children brides, right?
Yes. Except, for the actual child brides. And everyone check out Vow for Girls, because that is a great nonprofit that advocates against child brides. And it's really disgusting. It goes on under our noses in the United States, all over the world. It is
disgusting.
absolutely horrifying, and I hate to dampen the mood with something so dark, but I feel like it's a good time to say it, just for us to realize how fortunate we are to be able, especially when we're stressed about wedding planning. We're just so fortunate to be in situations where this is a choice that we've made, and it's a wonderful celebration because there are so many people that are forced and thrust into this. But anyway, check out Vow for Girls. Let's get back into Sex and the City.
Right, yes. So Vogue
Sorry about my
editorial,
tangent.
the last single girl,
Yes.
Carrie.
So I happen to think that I disagree. I know that a lot of older brides tend to go less traditional with a gown, but I think back now to Gary and Terry, the Golden Bachelor, and I don't know if you saw Terry's bridal gown.
I didn't.
But it was very traditional bride, like the lace and the deep cut. And I mean, this is a 7-year-old woman who looks fucking fire. Like she looks so good. So she can do it, and she looks great.
I mean, I constantly send you stuff and go like, for my second wedding, like as a joke. Like there is such beautiful things for for an older time. I think what I meant by youth on your side the first time around, like you look your best younger. You do. It's
totally.
Totally.
But I think if you feel good and you're of any age, like a traditional, quote unquote, traditional wedding dress, like go for it. Why not?
Yes.
So this is the Vogue editorial shoot where Carrie agrees to be, the last single girl. And she gets to do this photo shoot where she wears all the top designer gowns, and she is just styled to the nines. So before we get into the dresses themselves, this is the part for me that I was
It's not mine. It's something else. Okay. Because I have a good thing.
I'm so excited to tell you about this scene.
Okay.
You're gonna
now I'm even more excited.
Gird your loins. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you know who shot the Vogue editorial? Like Carrie, the photographer who actually did it, because the photographs were taken. There was a photographer who did this Vogue shoot.
Can I guess?
Yes.
It's not just.
No. Think Vogue. Think Vogue. But also a take on Vogue.
Should I know this?
I mean, once I say it, you will, but no.
Okay, tell me.
DeMarshall Yay.
DeMarshall Yay!
Marshall confirm. Yes.
Did de Marchelier confirm?
De Marchelier.
De Marchelier.
Oh my God.
Marshall, yeah.
I have Patrick.
I have Miranda.
Oh
I
my
have Patrick.
God. Get out. Like, really, DeMarshall Gay.
DeMarshall Guy.
I love that they used a real name in The Devil Wears Prada then.
I know.
That's cool.
I know.
Okay, another great film. Yeah. Right.
I wish that was a wedding movie
Right.
too. But yes, I do have favorites to your question about Carrie's dresses. So Carrie is dressed in number 1, Vera Wang, which I mean, you can't really say it. So I'm just going to post them on Instagram. But
They're
the
so
Vera
good.
Wang is a strapless fitted top bodice with gloves. Carrie's hair is pulled back. She has a long, flowing, just very natural kind of veil and a very big floral skirt. So I'll show you this. So pretty. So
I always loved it.
this is number 1. This is Vera Wang.
Number 1 for you, or just you're going?
This
through
is the
dresses
first
and you're
one.
gonna go?
Yeah.
Okay.
She also has a long white glove, which looks amazing on her. This probably, there's 2 that I love, but this is probably my favorite
Okay.
look. I
Okay.
wish she would have wore this. I love it. Then 2 is Carolina Herrera. This is also strapless.
This
it's
is
like
my
a
first
taffeta. The Carolina Herrera?
Yeah.
You like this one?
I love it with the bird cage.
Oh, I fucking hate this one.
I love it. I hate how Carrie's hair is styled in it, but I love it. Like, I
hate
think
the
I would look
dress.
amazing in it.
The dress has
love it.
these like butterflies on it, and it's like a scoop neck,
like the brooches, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it has this striped bow. I
You
just,
don't need to make that face.
I'm sorry. I know I'm yucking
I
the
love
yums.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay. Different strokes for different
now
folks.
you're gonna hate my second favorite.
I'm
too, 'cause I had
shocked.
I had 2 tied.
I
for
am
top.
so shocked. Okay, so we are on opposite ends of the spectrum
Yes.
here. Okay, so you like the Carolina Herrera. I like the Vera Wang. Okay, then next we have the Christian Lacroix, which
That's
I
my
thought
second favorite.
I thought this was beautiful and
Love
really
it with the
interesting.
black
She's
glove.
just
I love it. I love it. I
Yes,
love it.
Carrie
That
has
would be
this
a
kind of,
great
like,
second wedding dress.
bunchy style, but in the most gorgeous way. It's very artistic.
favorite.
But she's draped in pearls and she has a black glove and she really does look fabulous. It's styled so
Right.
well and she looks gorgeous. So the Christian Lacroix I will accept as a favorite.
Okay.
Now the Lanvin, which I think Carrie would have actually wore. I think this is very
It is very her,
Carrie.
and I loved the hair on this. Reminded me of J-Lo's hair.
Yes.
And I
I
so
love the
good.
whole look.
I
think
do
it's
too. It's
adorable.
adorable.
It's so cute. This is
I think
a
that would have been
tiered
perfect
mini
for the
dress.
wedding that she wanted.
Yeah,
Like,
this
small.
is a tiered. I guess it does have little straps, but they're thin. But it's a tiered mini dress with these like big pearls, and she
pretty.
has a
I love
short
this.
veil. Her hair's in a half up. It's very mod. She has a short glove as well. So yeah, I would
Yeah, I
say
love
this
this
is
look.
probably my number 2.
Okay.
Then we have the Christian Dior, which I did
It's
note.
insane, but I love it.
It's a true work of art, but it's the most heinous thing
Right.
I've ever seen
I mean,
in my life.
could you imagine a groom's face if you're walking
It's
down the
disgusting.
aisle? On that? It's for
It's
you know.
structurally and like as far as fashion is concerned, it is unbelievable. It's a true work of art.
Should be in a museum,
Absolutely.
not to walk down the aisle.
But
yes.
it looks like not colonial, like 17th century. The sleeves are
Shakespearean.
literal trash bags. Like
Yeah.
it's so. And then this hat, like Carrie.
It's insane.
Yes, she looks crazy but beautiful.
Insane, beautiful art.
Insane, beautiful art. It's not something that a bride should ever wear.
A groom would be in absolute horror. Could you
Horror.
imagine Jake's face?
If
You
I
coming
wore
down the aisle like that.
if I wore this dress coming down the aisle
so
with
funny.
a hat to
I
her,
almost wish it could be a funny joke to do it first.
it would be so funny.
Funny,
It was.
right?
I would love to actually wear this dress, like just for funsies.
Like to see, yeah.
But it's something.
I
It's
would love
something
to wear
special.
all of these dresses.
All
for
these
funsies,
dresses.
Yeah.
Then we have the Oscar de la Renta, which is like a very Spanish. It's a very pretty dress. It's lacy.
I love the red flower in the hair.
There's
I
a
think
red
this would be
flower in
great
the hair.
on
It's a
me.
sleeveless dress. I don't love the dress. I don't love the
I
styling
don't love it on
either.
Carrie.
Yeah,
Which makes me think that she can't wear everything.
I mean, she probably looks better in this than most people.
I think I would look nice in this dress.
Yeah, you would look great in this dress. It's just not my favorite. I don't think it's like a great dress,
Okay.
to be honest. But
Okay.
Pat Fields did not style this, so
Okay. So she cannot be blamed.
She cannot be blamed. Yeah.
Right.
Then we have, of course, the Vivienne Westwood, a
Which
dress
to me-
so special it could bring a wedding tear from even the most unbelieving of women.
Yes.
So
I love this dress, and I think it is the dress for Carrie.
So I do too, but I just want to say that the styling and the shoot of this dress, wow, unbelievable. So
Yes,
simple.
I wish
the hair
she would
is
have just
tousled.
done her hair like that.
I wish she would have done everything like that. It's very soft, angelic makeup. It's no accessories.
Right.
It's no veil, hair down.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Absolutely stunning. This is like basically a modern day Belle of Beauty and the Beast. It's such a gorgeous dress. The only thing I hate about this dress and dresses of the like is when on purpose the cup is so much bigger than the breast.
Yeah, I never got that either.
I never got it and I never will, and I don't think it looks good.
Me either. I think it makes not Carrie, but like if whenever I put on something that does that, it makes me look heavier.
It just looks like I'm a kid who's like trying to stuff my tit into something that's like
that. Yeah, I never liked that either.
Looks stupid. But
Yeah.
I thought as far as the styling of the shoot,
Unreal.
yes, looks so good. But God, on the wedding day, it was heinous.
Yeah, no good.
It was a fucking disaster.
No good.
If I do say so myself. Yeah. So your favorite is the Carolina Herrera,
Tied with the Christian Lacroix.
the Christian Lacroix.
Christian Lacroix.
Okay, all right. And I would say mine is the Vera Wang tied with the Lanvin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We have our choices, ladies.
Sure.
Let us know what you think. We'll
Yeah.
post the dresses on Instagram.
Yes.
And Carrie is, let's see. Okay, so when Carrie gets home, she is gifted the Vivienne Westwood, and she decides that she's going to wear that to the wedding instead of the
Little
vintage
pantsuit.
suit that she got.
The bride wore dressed by Nova.
Anthony Marantino, shout out to Anthony.
Right. We'll get to him.
Well, sure will. Sure
Yeah.
will. King Anthony. He's so effing funny.
Which also, just speaking of him, Charlotte gifted her best friend Anthony, who is a wedding planner, to Carrie as her wedding gift to plan the wedding. And what better gift if you're wealthy and able to do that for somebody?
Wow. Charlotte's
That's
such a good
just
friend.
She really is.
She's such a good friend.
She is.
Oh, God, I love her so much.
Yes.
Before we move on, because I think we will get to it, but in case we don't, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Stanny. We do see Stanny in the photo shoot scene. He's there with the girls. And R.I.P. to Willie Garson. He was a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
And brought a lot of joy to a lot of people in all of his works.
Right.
And he's sorely missed and was not given justice on
Right.
Just Like That. I don't know if anyone watched, but they decided that he was going to be a monk, and
Yeah. It was
very,
a weird.
very strange
Yeah.
storyline for him. But we will give him the credit that he's due here.
Right.
So we cut to Carrie and Big in bed.
And can I just start with, before any dialogue, I'm immediately annoyed as this scene begins because Carrie is wearing pearls to bed. Listen, I know some people like it. I don't like silk to bed. To me, sweat and silk. So she's got a gray panty.
Gray panty.
Gray thick panty, which nothing wrong with. Listen, sleep how you want, but like just a gray thick panty, a silk tank, a string of pearls.
What do you wear to bed?
Listen, I'm always going to full pant. And I'm a t-shirt. I don't sleep in long sleeves. So I'm full pant t-shirt, and one of my pant legs is rolled up.
Ooh.
The leg that's down is under the covers, and I have one leg out of the covers. Always. And sock is on. If you see my feet, you understand.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
It sounds, your husband must love that.
He does.
God, he does. I am full sweatpant and hoodie to bed.
Okay.
But that changes. That's like a cyclical thing. So that's been the past couple years.
Okay. I was going to say, because when we were kids, you always did shorts and
a long sleeve.
And I found that funny because I was pants and short sleeve.
Yes. That changed because I started running hot in the night. And I noticed that if I wore a long pant, it didn't happen. It happened more with a short.
Right.
Very interesting.
It is.
But last night I wore a short and a long sleeve to bed. And
Did you? How'd that go?
A matching set. Yeah, heart
It was
pajamas.
chilly last night.
I was cold last night, but it felt right. It felt
Okay.
my hair looked really good last night, and I did like my face routine, and I just felt so cute going to bed in my little
Right.
matching
Well, you
PJ
know me,
set.
I only ever go to bed with a wet head. So
I know. I gotta tell you something about that. You're not gonna like.
oh, I know that it's it's awful.
Well, apparently it invites in debris and potential
You won't have
infection.
to worry about that because I heavily bleach all of my
Hi, Jake.
bedding.
What's
How's
up?
it going?
Do you want to come say hi? The podcast.
I heavily bleach all of my pillowcases that could change every other night. My sheets are changed twice a week. And
But just having a wet head is supposedly like you should not have a wet scalp at any point. Like you should dry the scalp.
honestly, I think my body is so used to it at this point
It
that
just
I
is
won't
what
be
it
able to
is.
fall asleep without it.
Sure, Jan.
Right? You seem a little preoccupied with your sister.
Goodbye.
So funny. I couldn't stop laughing thinking of the movie.
It's the best.
it's so funny.
Okay, so I'm sorry. You were saying Carrie is wearing this get up to bed that is
It's ridiculous.
completely
and then,
inappropriate.
and her hair's done.
yeah,
Like,
she's looking good. She has makeup on.
it's like
Carrie,
come
you
on,
can't wear
Carrie.
makeup to bed.
Who are you, mommy? Like, come on, stop it.
I am done. But I will say this, the series and this movie, it's a lot of wish fulfillment here. So,
Yes. Yeah.
people are not washing their face before bed. They're,
Right.
Things like that. They're wearing pearls to bed.
Yeah.
It's just a strange thing. They're going to bed with Mr. Big. Like, talk about wish
Right.
fulfillment. But Carrie gets in bed and she's doing some research for her new book. So she checked out a book called The Love Letters of Great Men. So it's like all love letters of men of the past.
And
Yes. But I thought what was interesting about this, that was not a real book, but the fans called for it. So there's been iterations of it since the movie.
Fun.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I think if you can get a copy of Love Letters for Great Men, because you can now, that's really great inspo for a ceremony reading.
True. Or a cute little coffee table book, or like something to gift a bride.
Definitely. Yes.
groom.
Or groom. Yes. A really cute gift. I'm so sorry.
So Carrie goes to return the library book, and she sees she's at the New York Public Library, and there's deliveries coming in for a wedding that evening. And
So if anyone is not familiar with the New York Public Library, it is just magnificent. Many weddings are held there. It's really a fabulous place. But Carrie's returning her book.
Right.
She sees that there is
a wedding there, and goes, takes a peek, and the rest is history.
Yeah, she
will
falls
be
in love with the
getting
venue.
married there.
She wants to get married there. So she has really successfully turned this whole wedding into a circus because
Right.
her and Big have agreed on a small wedding. And
Right.
now, she's doing it at the New York Public Library in a Vivian Westwood gown, which is like a
Right.
couture
The guest
fabulous
list went
gown.
from 75 to 200.
Yes.
It's,
I do have a quick note. Do we want to get into the other girls? Or do you want to just move? Like,
I think we have to quickly just because of things. Like, I'll just be quick about it. So, we get to the.
Well, I just have to
we
say
should,
really
because
quick.
It is important of how the trajectory of the story goes.
Yeah.
Miranda's
So
story.
my
anyway.
note for Miranda is just Brady eye roll.
Wait, help! I wrote Brady eating spaghetti. Disgusting. Quick, they're out to dinner, and I did have a note of that. Miranda's
Magda.
trying to rush through dinner.
Yeah.
And Magda didn't finish, but she has to take Brody to the bathroom.
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting.
Insane.
I
And
know.
it's like, I love Steve, but come on. Like make yourself useful. Take Brady to the bathroom.
Yeah, and Steve is acting like, oh, you didn't take it. No, Steve, like he's a little boy. You take him to the fucking
Right.
bathroom.
But basically, all in all, Miranda's burned out. And
Her and Steve are having some
dry
marital
spell.
issues.
Yes. The girls are talking about it over dinner.
Yes.
Carrie says her 50th stupid thing of the when Big colors, he rarely stays in the lines.
my
Which
God.
they show them kissing later, and Big's like licking her face. And I was like, is that what that means? That Big can't kiss properly?
Maybe Big's just a bad
Yeah,
kisser. That's what it means by he
Right, 'cause,
rarely stays inside the lines.
Because to me, staying inside the lines
would
be the proper way
focusing
to do
on
it.
the mouth.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, I would want my lover to stay inside the
Right.
lines.
Same.
But I did want to say when they're as we said, Miranda and Steve are having some marital issues. They're not
Right.
sleeping together. The girls are all talking about it over lunch. And they're all talking about the frequency with which they have intercourse with their significant other. And what pisses me off so bad, Carrie on her high horse, like, not going to say, are you a sex columnist or not, you prude?
I know, it's ridiculous.
I can't stand her, but I love her so much. And
next is the most important scene of the film is the closet reveal. When Biggs showed in the beginning, they see this beautiful penthouse. She hates the closet.
I said a moment for the new closet.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then she says that I think the dumbest thing in the movie, you did me proud, mister.
You did me proud,
and ruins the whole closet reveal. I can't stand this. The stuff she thinks is clever.
I hate her. Everything she says. I'm like, Michael Patrick King, are you okay? Like, stop it. Stop it with these one-liners.
Stop it.
Really quick, before the new closet, we do reveal a little bit of Samantha and Smith Jared's issues.
Yes.
So, just a quick aside, Samantha is watching these neighbors bone, and I just wanted to point this out because Samantha feels that her and Smith are maybe falling off the wagon of having sex lots. She doesn't feel appreciated in the relationship,
right.
And she's just watching these neighbors have sex. But I was at the JCC at the gym, watching the movie and taking notes for the movie, and I kept having to cover the screen because there's a lot of nudity in this film, and I felt so embarrassed because
that's really funny.
Most of the JCC attendees are 65 plus,
right?
So just wanted to,
aside from your girls here, everybody's a little older,
little wiser,
right? That's for sure.
Shout out,
yeah,
it's Milton and Betty Katz,
yeah, gotta love it.
So yes, the closet scene. So we get the closet scene, and what comes after is Carrie having to clean out her old closet. So her friends are really troopers for coming to help her with this,
right.
And have her do just a fashion show for them all afternoon.
Right. And I feel like this was such an opportunity to like really go through like the most iconic looks. And I feel like they only did 3 looks, and it was a lot of Carrie like dancing, and I could have done without that.
I could have done without the Carrie dancing. I always love that kind of montage where like either we're having a fashion show or a makeover.
Right. I feel like this one was poorly executed.
It was poorly executed, but it still made me feel good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
It's something that I need
Glad
in a
to hear
film.
somebody was happy with it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, well, happy with it, but
not
satisfied.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt satisfied. Yeah, so many nods to the show, but a little bit cheesy.
Right.
Whatever. Okay, let's get to Miranda and Steve. We're getting back to them. Steve admits that he
confesses to cheating.
He's fucked someone else.
I think I may have gone partially blind from the eye roll I did of his confession. It was the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life. And
disgusting.
Then he gets in bed, sleep on the fucking couch, Steve.
Steve, get out of my bed.
Yeah,
but
goodbye.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No.
I loved Miranda with it. Don't follow me.
Yeah.
Because that's the only
love the way
appropriate thing to say.
Miranda handled the
it.
whole thing.
Excellent. And I hate the way Miranda does most things, but this was perfectly executed.
So it's so funny. Growing up, I always watched the reruns on E! I didn't watch it on HBO. Right. It came out when I was very young. But recently I rewatched the whole thing. And I always had in my mind, I hate Miranda. She's so annoying. But when I rewatched the show, I love
she's
Miranda.
Logic.
Yeah, she's the voice of reason.
She's the lawyer. And we'll get to that later, which was my
Oh
favorite
my God.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So now Miranda and Steve are separating. Now let's get back to Carrie and Big, because as we said, she's really made this wedding a whole circus, and Big is furious, and I understand.
Yes.
But he comes in with,
this is his 3rd marriage. How do you think that makes me look?
the way I would murder
No,
him.
I'm Team Big with this.
No, I don't. I reject
I'm
that.
Team Big with this because, listen.
I reject it.
No, you don't. Because
Yeah, I do. Because how are you going to throw in my face that this is your 3rd marriage? It wouldn't have been your 3rd marriage if you didn't marry Natasha.
I know, but
don't say that to me.
I know, but shock of the century, Carrie. I didn't even know that was an issue. Oh, Carrie, because you don't ever think of anyone but yourself.
Of course, and I get that, but this is Carrie's first wedding.
Right,
And
but
she
Carrie, honey, you're not a traditional person, and you were more like Samantha. There's a reason she was shocked about it. We didn't ever think you were getting married, so like, don't act like you had this dream of a wedding your whole life.
It's
you didn't.
not that it's a dream of a
She
wedding.
didn't.
Listen, going back, I have realized that Carrie has compromised a lot for Big. Like there was a time when she thought about having children, but that was not an option for Big. She didn't do that. Like she knew Big didn't want to get married. And it wasn't like it was the most important thing to her, but the more important thing was being with Big. And she's always given and given and given, and he's always taken and taken and taken. And he could have bended a little bit for this. This is a first-time bride. This is a fashion mogul. Come on, let her have her day. And don't ever fucking mention that this is your third marriage, because you did me so dirty when you went to Paris for work and barely even told me. You didn't even give me any notice. And you come back with a fiance who is 12 years old and so hot and perfect. Like, fuck you. That I would hang over his head forever. So I was really furious when Big said that.
So the wedding would have been called off for you at that point.
No, not quite. It's going to take a little more than that, you know, but I would be mad, and I would sure start a fight.
Okay.
Anything you want to add to that before we get to the rehearsal dinner?
No, I just think Carrie's a selfish pig, and like that. I mean, think about it. Think about it. He was married 3 times. Like, do you need to put on a circus?
Whose fault is that?
Not Carrie's, but it is Carrie's for wanting to stick around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's a total sadist.
Right.
Yeah. So let's get to the rehearsal dinner.
Which I
wanted to say.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I loved Carrie's look for the rehearsal dinner.
Me too. I
loved it.
The entire, the design, the venue, everything was so
great.
swanky and so chic. I loved Carrie's outfit. I loved that every woman was in all black. It was like an all black affair.
It was great.
And I love that idea for a rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
And I think that we're in this era of wanting everything to be different, and like, I don't want to do things, but I just love the idea of a state table with, you know, a couple speeches in the middle of kind of a crowded restaurant. Like, so cool.
I thought Samantha's little speech was cute. Like,
hey, dickwad, I'm speaking.
So good. Carl wasn't appropriate.
Carl was an asshole. Yeah. But he, you know, he was a sport.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, he was, and he, you know, he took it in a stride.
Right.
Whatever. So Steve shows up to the rehearsal.
Looking disheveled, may I add.
I know, when you're going to come and like make a grand gesture, like, you have to like get a blowout or like do something to
How
make
about don't come and make a grand gesture when you did what Steve did?
How about ditch the glasses,
I
put
didn't
some
want to
contacts
go
in.
in. It's a party.
I don't want to
Like,
bother
fuck off,
all of
Steve.
you.
You would have been there had you not cheated. Like,
Totally.
It was bad. And honestly, hot take here, I want to say, like, watching this again, that Miranda, that Samantha is like partially to blame here. Like, why did you go retrieve Miranda? Like, you're Miranda.
I would have done the same.
Now I would have been like, Steve, honey, I've known you all these years. This is not the time or place. Please go home.
Yeah, you're right.
I will coordinate something with Miranda later. Please leave.
That's true.
Like, it was.
But I think Samantha hadn't seen
They
Steve.
all felt bad. You could see Big felt bad. Like, you're not bothering us. Like, everyone felt bad. And yes, he looked pathetic. Of course you felt bad. But that was just totally not the time and place. And I can't, like, Samantha should not have retrieved him.
So this is a scene, a lot of times, one of my dearest friends, Elisa Marie, and I will just send each other Sex in the City quotes. And one that we love is, "You broke us. What we had is broken." And then we love that the girls are laughing at them as they enter the restaurant.
It is funny.
What the hell? So that's a great iconic scene.
Yes.
Just had to do a little shout out there. Stop. You have to slap me.
Why?
Because I said iconic again.
No, this is an iconic film.
Just do it. You knock me out unconscious. Help me. I wanted to also say Samantha looks amazing at the rehearsal.
She does.
But you did say that.
Yes. I said Carrie, but everyone really looked their best. I really think so.
Yeah, they did. So when Miranda returns from her conversation with Steve, she tells Big that her and Carrie are crazy to get married. Which, like,
marriage ruins everything.
Are you
Excuse me,
okay? This is my rehearsal.
No, she's not
dinner.
okay. And
No.
again, let's go back. I hate to blame Samantha, but like, what did you think that was going to end well? Yeah. And then again, Miranda, come on, save it. You're going to say that to Big?
I know.
Stop it.
She's a freaking moron.
That was a Carrie move, like making things about you.
Totally. So let's get to the wedding day.
Wait, but quickly to the wedding
Night.
Still the wedding night. Girls having a sleepover, and when Big calls Carrie like upset and Lily answers the phone, Big did not find it a little bit funny.
No, Big is not impressed by children.
No, he was just like, put fucking Carrie on the phone.
Yeah.
Lily.
He basically said that to Lily.
Like, peed myself. That was really funny.
Put Carrie on the phone, you wench. Mm-hmm. you little twat.
Yeah.
Lily's so cute.
She is precious.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
She's just a little cupcake cutie pie.
Which, I mean, how she ends up later. Outrageous and great.
Total
Little bitch.
The kids are acting strange.
Yeah. The kids are out of control.
I can't believe that they make Lily and Brady fuck.
It's so scary watching the film now and seeing like Brady and his spaghetti face and whatever, like the thought of them being adults.
Everything about Brady drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Yeah.
I've always hated him. I've always hated it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the wedding morning. Just wanted to say, hate Carrie's hair, hate Carrie's lip, hate Carrie's headpiece.
Oh, Miranda's hair is awful too.
Hate Miranda's hair. Yeah, the looks otherwise.
Oh, but Magna looks stunning. Go back and watch.
I didn't.
She
even
looks
notice.
beautiful.
Oh, I
she
love
really
her
does.
so
I put that
much.
she was the star. She was the star.
Yeah,
and obviously Charlotte. I always, the all black. It's
yes,
just, that's me.
So the colors were black, blue, and red.
Yes,
which you'll see again.
Them well, except Miranda's hair looked stupid.
So at the end, I won't spoil anything, but I'll harken back to this, but everyone who is listening saw the movies, but at the end, Carrie and Big do get married, but the girls are wearing red, blue, and black in the end.
Are
also,
they?
yeah. So I don't know if there's something to that color scheme, but I just thought that was interesting. I just wanted to quote Anthony Marantino really quick. So I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place now. We're at the wedding morning. Carrie looks terrible. And we can tell that there's some stress. There's some shit about to ensue. And Lily and Miranda are fully to blame. Unfortunately, they've ruined the wedding.
I'm adding Samantha to that now, though. I am. She should have told Steve to go the fuck home. But go ahead, continue.
I don't think
your
it's
opinion.
her.
You're entitled.
Yeah.
You're entitled.
Totally. So I think the biggest culprits are Lily, Miranda, and Big. But you can add Samantha in for sure. But there's a lot of stress on the wedding morning, as there always is for every, wedding morning. There's some shit going on.
So we cut to them getting to the wedding. Groom's not there yet.
Groom's not there. Where is Big?
And you might, well,
I don't know how to work this.
Ridiculous.
She's
Carrie
such a bitch.
annoying, and again, finally gets Big on the phone.
Yeah. So Carrie is told that Big is not there, and Big and her talk on the phone. He says he's been trying to call all morning, and he confesses that he is not going to be coming to the wedding.
And then I'm going to say, her dropping the phone and the dramatics, would you ever give up that easily? Be like, what do you fucking mean you're not coming? Tell him to turn the fucking car around, or you're going to announce to everyone there that he fucked his dog. Come on.
Absolutely.
What's going on?
And another thing, Big, you're embarrassed about this. Well, the really embarrassing thing is everyone's going to know that you stood up your bride at the wedding.
What
everyone's
going
to be talking about you way more now.
Right. Just Carrie choking, just be like, get the fuck over here now, and we can end this later. We're not
I wouldn't
doing
even
this
handle
now.
this. I'd say, talk to this fucking loser and make sure he gets here. And the marriage will be annulled tomorrow.
Right.
Make sure he gets here right now.
Ridiculous.
I am humiliated, Carrie.
I knew you would do this.
So Big decides he's going to turn around. He has a come to Jesus moment. He's like, oh my God, no, I do want to get married.
Carrie, if she just was turn around, we're going to go through with this today.
Totally. But he turns around, he catches Carrie. They both get out of the car, and she makes a big scene. She's hitting him with the bouquet. I knew you would do this to me.
I am humiliated.
I am humiliated.
Oh, okay. So beat someone publicly in a wedding dress outside.
Because that's not
going to help. Right?
Yeah. And then Charlotte, no. Always
hilarious.
makes me laugh.
Mr. Mim.
so Mr. Mim.
It's so Mr. Mim.
I can't. Okay.
Cut to Charlotte's, Carrie disheveled. It's the wedding evening that wasn't. And
So I just want to say we're 56 minutes in. I'm going to have to cut so much because we're not even halfway through the movie.
there's so much more.
much
Which I didn't
happens.
even take that many notes. I did this purposely.
Well, once I got into it, I was like, I did say this was going to be a two-parter.
Okay, so we'll just
Remember when I texted you?
Yeah, she did. So
do you
we're
want to finish it on another time? We'll leave it here at the wedding because the rest of the life of the movie we could do at another point.
Yes.
Let's leave off here so you're not going home at midnight. Okay, so this has been part 1 of the Sex and the City movie. We're going to leave off.
I can't believe how far in we are. It doesn't even feel that long.
It doesn't even feel that long.
Right?
I know.
It really is such a layered film. But
Oh my God.
yes.
So it's
to the
not
second part.
that long of a film, but so much
happens,
happens.
yes.
And again, we're an hour in and we're not even halfway through the contents of the film.
And I feel like we're not even addressing every scene.
We're not even getting to the other girls. We've barely talked about Charlotte at all, which she doesn't have a lot of storyline in this movie. But anything that you want to mention about the first half of the movie? How long are you home for, by the way?
I believe I'm going to head back the 12th or 13th.
Okay, so you'll be home for another week. So we can record next week.
So yeah, we can record next week.
Yeah. So,
but I'll just leave it with, I wrote one note of the wedding evening. I'll leave it just, it was so funny to me when Carrie was like, now I have nowhere to live. Like as if she's homeless or something. Like, Carrie, fuck off.
No, what are you
have
talking
nowhere
about?
to live.
Nowhere
Stop
to live.
it. You're in Charlotte's penthouse.
But
You're
I will
fine.
say, if I was stood up at a wedding,
I would be.
Carrie's antics are forgiven to me. I just in this scene because I don't know what I'm doing.
But she allowed it to happen. Like there was no fight in it. Just like dropping the phone and choking. She should have just been like, "Get the fuck back here now. We're getting married today. Goodbye."
She's a loser.
Yeah.
She's a total loser. And
yeah.
Another thing that I just want to point out for a few reasons throughout this movie, and we'll discover them so much more. I'm so excited for part 2 because
me too. Because you don't even know my fun part.
Oh, I'm so excited. You can't tell me. You can't tell me till we do it. But Carrie has the best friends in the world, and she's so undeserving of them.
Really
like
does.
For them to all come home for her to clean out her closet.
She does.
And
it's amazing.
the way she speaks to them and just is so disrespectful.
It's something we're not saying?
No.
You know, because I know we think similarly on most things. I mean, we were schooled in the same places. We have the same parents. So we were, raised by the same people. Like, so we think similarly. But like, am I missing something? Is she a good friend?
Oh, that's so interesting.
Sound off in the comments.
Sound off in the comments. From the conjecture I've gathered online,
right?
I would say that most people think Carrie's really annoying.
Okay.
But I will also say this. I get so annoyed by her, but I think she's beautiful. And
I think she's so pretty.
And I love her style. And I do always forgive her. And she's so watchable. I just want to watch everything she does all the time. I think because I love to look at her.
Yeah.
And her chaos. Endearing is the wrong word. But
no, I think endearing is the right word.
She's fun I love to watch her unravel and unfold.
Yes.
One thing I will also say, like some of the people that were brought in from the show that made cameos in the movie, I thought like interesting, like Bitsy Mon Muffling made an appearance and like, obviously Anthony and Stanny, but I know we get an Aiden appearance in Sex and the City 2, but I think we could have used one in Sex and the City 1.
No.
Yeah.
Big and Carrie's wedding film.
I like to see him on the street or something. As we do, throughout the show and when we see him in Abu Dhabi.
I feel like it's enough when we get him in Abu Dhabi. Like that build up, is enough.
I know.
And we will be recapping the first 2 along with this. I think it's the first 6 minutes of that film.
Yeah. So we'll call
touch
to
on it.
Anthony and Stanley get married, which is so stupid and ridiculous. The fact that these two get together, which we'll get to, but so dumb.
Right. It's gonna be fun though. Part 2.
Yeah, look out for part 2. Stay tuned. And thanks for listening. And we'll do it right in a row. So I'll do part 1 this week, and then the following week I'll do part 2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, partner. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Good night. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you so much for listening to the episode today. Please like, review, rate, subscribe, follow, whatever the things are. It's really, really helpful. If you do support us, there's something in it for you too. You'll have the opportunity to win a free Pre Nup bridal prep planner. We give one away every month. I have the directions on how to do that below, so make sure you check that out. Thank you again for listening. Happy planning. See you next Wednesday.